Welcome back, eSIM Studios podcast, episode number 74, on a Friday afternoon for you here. Got interesting news in regards to TikTok. I know it's been a heated discussion, but very interesting nonetheless, to say the very least. And I do have some information here for everybody. It looks like we might have an issue on our hands for those TikTok users that are out there. But I do have a workaround if something goes astray. I do have a workaround for you, but, could it get banned? Sure. But will that stop you and I from using it? No. I'll show you how to work around it. But he got turned up a little bit, right? So let me switch the music here. Background music. Before we get started, hang on. Give me a second. Okay, would like to give a shout out to everybody listening in the audio form, in the traditional podcast form. You can find us anywhere podcasts are available. iHeartRadio app, Amazon Music app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, basically any platform, even these smaller ones. I even put the RSS feed down there in the description box for those nerds like I that love RSS feeds. And if you don't know what they are, then probably don't need to worry about it. Just search us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you can get your podcasts. Just simply type in eSIM Studios and we will be right there for you. So you can take us anywhere you go. You can keep us right in your pocket, right in your hip pocket. Let's see here. Okay. And before we get started, I would like to thank everybody listening. Up to number 26 on, I think we started out number 32, 29, 27, now we're up to 26 on Trending Tech Podcasts in Indonesia, I believe. Southeast Asia. So trending over there. So thank you very much. Shout out to everybody listening, viewing from over there. I really appreciate it. And I actually have some cool stuff for you. I'll check this out. We got if you want any news whatsoever, if you like watching, if you like tech news, I'm also gonna fill this with video reviews. I can actually live stream from this website too, but check this out. So we got eSIMstudios.com blog form, right? Got your podcast down here on the right. All sorts of good news over here. It's not the only one. And then we got YouTube here, podcasts, Apple News reviews, all that good stuff up here. Check this out. We got this as well. Check out this website. Very nice. Got the nice black dark features. Got nice good articles here. Got them spread out here across the top. And the best one yet. Check this out. TechStudios.app. All the latest and greatest news right here. Now this is a web app, so you go to TechStudios.app, and then you can simply install it like a regular app. Now it should be available on the Play Store. I would say within a week or two. It takes a while to get approved, but it's all good. But you can go ahead and install this on your phone. Just go to techstudios.app. It'll ask you, go to your settings soon after you do that, right after you do that. And then simply, you can install it like a web app, right? And you got all your good stuff over here on the left. Check this out. We even got our podcast. You can listen to our podcasts here. Also have YouTube, right? Got the latest YouTube. Those are the one we did yesterday. YouTube videos. So we got there. We got those there. Very, very cool. I'm going to have all good deals for you here. Tech deals. We'll have PC news, all sorts of tech news. I'm going to add more sections as well for cool stuff that we got going on. But nonetheless, let's get into it, right? So the title of today's episode involves TikTok, right? Now, let's go down to this TikTok story. I know I got it here somewhere. Where is it? Right here. So, TikTok. As you know, I've done a couple of live streams in regards to this issue. So, the government is basically suing TikTok. But look, don't be fooled by what you see or hear in the media. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to deliver what's going on as truthfully as I can be, give you an honest assessment. Because what you read and or hear and or see in the media, national media, is not necessarily saying it's not true. They're just not giving you all the facts. That's basically what it comes down to. That's all it comes down to. So the U.S. government basically suing TikTok, putting a bill in place. The president already signed it. It's flying through all of these signatures. That I think it needs 3 signatures. So it's flying through everybody, Republican or Democrat. Seems to be on board. Not all of them, but a large majority of them. That's why it just flies right through. So, president already signed off on it, and it appears that it will get banned. Right? The government wants to ban this, and now they're putting a stipulation. They're telling TikTok, we won't. Now, why are they banning it? I'm sorry. So the U.S. government has set motions in place to ban TikTok in the United States, for use in the United States. So why are they doing that? Well, the government's claiming because it is owned by a Chinese entity, a Chinese company named ByteDance. They're claiming sensitive data might get leaked, people's personal information might be going into the wrong hands, simply, right? And to the typical person, anybody off the street, you ask somebody, given that scenario, like, yeah, I kind of get it, yeah. The Chinese government's going to have, because obviously in a communistic economic setting, government setting, the government basically has power and or say so over any and all companies in China. So they can the companies in China can kind of operate how they want to, however, only if approved by the Chinese government. So any big moves, any steering off track, anything that's not on the roadmap, on the game plan that the government and the company has set forth, the company has to get approval to do anything from the Chinese government. So does the government have access to this data? Maybe. How much data are you giving them? Now, I know, you don't really want to be giving anybody any data, right? That's a perfect scenario, but we are living in a digital world, and it's damn near impossible. I mean, I try as much as I can, to try to not put certain things out there here and there, but I mean, it's almost impossible, right? So what are they going to have? So when you sign up for TikTok, I believe you can do either an email or you can do a phone number, I believe. It's been a while since I've signed up. So they'll have either or, right? Email, phone number. Not that big of a deal, in my opinion. Now, it's not like you're giving them your social or you're adding payment information in there unless you pay for ads. I've done that in the past. You do have to put debit or credit card information in there, but it is what it is, right? So in a perfect world, sure, you don't want any information going to a Chinese company, which in turn potentially the Chinese government might have. However, if it's an email, if it's a phone number, in my opinion, not that big of a deal. But I get it. If you don't want any info out there, that's your information. That's your prerogative, right? Like, I get it. I'm just telling you my personal opinion. So the government, the U.S. government, we don't want them to have anything. We don't want them to have anything, no personal, no private information on any of our citizens. Now, you can make a case, side note, timeout, from my little introduction. You can make a case that influence is the bigger factor here, right? Influence, how they influence people. Because, look, young minds, teenagers, even adults, I think everybody's prone to this. If you continually see a type of rhetoric, if you continually see and or hear narratives that are being pushed to your device or to your application of what you're seeing, it can and will, I think that's proven, for now each individual, that the time matters as far as how long does it take to influence somebody's decision. How long does it take to show somebody certain ads or certain videos that will change your opinion on something. I think that's more potentially dangerous than having your email out there or having a phone number out there, right? And as you know, it's a young, I think the typical user's got to be, I don't know their analytics, but I'm sure it's rather young. I think the average user is probably in their 20s, because I don't see, of course, there's some people in their 50s, and I would hope not, in their 60s that are on TikTok. And their ideas are pretty much, strong, but anybody can be swayed if they are, if their minds, if their eyes and ears are continually seeing a certain narrative being pushed. It's only a matter of time before their decisions and or choices get swayed. That's maybe more potentially dangerous than an email or phone number. Okay, so that being said, getting back, the U.S. government is putting this narrative out there. They don't want any information going to this Chinese company and or the Chinese government. Kind of makes sense. I get it. I don't agree with it, but I understand that. So when all this came out a few months ago, I was like, kind of, what's going on? You sort of looking into it, you hear what's going on over the media. And I actually did a stream, I want to say about a month ago or 6 weeks ago, where we looked into this. The bill's again flying through our government in the process of becoming a real deal. Meaning it looks like it's probably going to get banned. The stream that I did a month ago was spurred and or sparked by that bill being created. And diving into it a little bit on my own, I found some very interesting facts basically about this case. The U.S. government is putting forth their case. You always hear them say a Chinese company Chinese owner, company owner, Chinese owner. You always hear these three words: owner, Chinese, and TikTok or app. But actually, if you do your homework and it's out there, ByteDance, the Chinese company that owns TikTok, is actually a minority owner, which was shocking to find out, but they are. It's just a matter of fact. Now, how much do they own? They own only 21% of TikTok. So ByteDance only owns 21% of TikTok. So who's the other large majority owner of TikTok, right? It's got to be, I'm assuming, another Chinese company, shit, maybe even the Chinese government. I have no idea. Well, we looked into it a little more on that live stream, and actually BlackRock, probably the largest, has the largest portfolio in the world. Everything it's a United States based company. They have shares and or percentages of ownership in almost every big company in the world. Almost. You'll be surprised if you go down the list of stuff that they have ownership stake in. They own a huge majority stake in TikTok. Right? That's weird. So why isn't that being talked about in the media? Correct. Mr. Mark Nash, what's going on, brother? I appreciate you joining us today, sir. Thank you very much. Hello to you. Thank you. Right. So check this out. So ByteDance only owns 21% of TikTok. So, you see what I'm getting at? That's never, nowhere is BlackRock or the other investors. You know what? Let me do this. Let's pull up the owners, shall we? Okay. So, TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, was founded by Chinese entrepreneurs. ByteDance is a privately held global company with roughly 60% owned by global institution investors. Over 60% of TikTok is owned by companies that are not Chinese based. BlackRock, General Atlantic, that's another big United States investment firm. Susquehanna International Group, never heard of them. So I was wrong. I got that wrong. Only 20% is owned by ByteDance. And over 7,000 Americans. And now look, this is on their website. This is on TikTok. Is this TikTok? This is their website. It is not owned or controlled by any government or state entity. Very interesting how they worded that, right? So why is the US government so steadfast and headstrong on banning TikTok or forcing ByteDance to sell their mere 20% share in TikTok? So the US government is saying, look, we're going to ban the usage of TikTok in the United States if ByteDance, if you don't sell us that remaining 20%. Putting it in layman's terms, this is a shakedown. This is kind of the conclusion I came to on our last live stream about a month ago in regards to this topic. This is a sheer and utter shakedown by the United States government at its finest. Basically saying, if you don't sell to us, we're going to kick you out of the country. It is a pure shakedown. Now, what you can't tell me that BlackRock doesn't have a say-so or is not in some way influencing this decision. BlackRock has so much money that I believe they actually hold. I don't want to make this. I don't want to make that statement because it might be a dumb statement. But I was going to say the amount of money BlackRock has and the amount of influence BlackRock has, who's the majority owner of TikTok, and they own everything from millions and millions of shares, billions of dollars worth of stocks all across the globe. From everything, I guarantee you have something or use something in your home, in your apartment, that BlackRock owns. GM cars, Toyota's cars, General Electric, washers and dryers, irons, everything, even Arm & Hammer, baking soda, freaking paper towels, literally almost everything. They at least have one share of stock in everything. It's not one share, it's a lot. But again, you don't hear this on the national media. You don't hear this. When I looked into this, I was actually shocked because if you just pay attention to the national media, it sounds like ByteDance owns 100%. No. So this is a shakedown. Today, sorry for the long intro. Today, ByteDance, we got a statement from them. And it wasn't necessarily the statement that we were all anticipating, or at least I wasn't anticipating. They basically told the United States government to go fuck off. They told them, we're not selling it. So ban us if you want to. I'm kind of adding some words in there, but paraphrasing what I would like to think they said. But no, they made a statement saying we're not selling. So do what you want to do, but we're not selling. Now, I don't know what it's evaluated at. Let's see. And see how much 20% of however many billions of dollars it's worth. I always misspell it. I always spell it TIKTOC, but it's TOK. Let's see. Evaluation. Okay. Let me share this tab. So, where is this article coming from? The Wall Street Journal? Pretty credible, at least I would think so. 2 days ago, so pretty relevant article and or assessment. So the Wall Street Journal is saying TikTok could be evaluated or valued at $110 billion. Starting point is soon. ByteDance sells off TikTok instead of cleaving it into two businesses, one for the US and the other for the rest of the world. America is TikTok's biggest market and major growth engine. So roughly 20% of, now look, I don't know if they would be getting a fair value, right? Because that would be an enormous negotiation. If TikTok agreed to, fine, we'll sell our 20%, it would go into months, I guarantee you, months long negotiation. And stick around for just a minute. I do have a workaround. If, in fact, TikTok says screw you to the U.S., or not to the U.S., to the U.S. government, and the government says, fine, you're banned, I have a workaround. So even if the U.S. government bans TikTok, I'll let you know how to still use it as normal. There's no funny business you got to do. You don't have to root your phone or get some kind of weird janky hookup. No, it's pretty easy, and I'll show you how to do it. So don't, there's a lot of fear. Oh my God, this and that. It's nothing. I can show y'all how to get around it. It's nothing. But so roughly 20% of $110 billion is, 20% of 100 billion would be 20 billion. That's what, about 22 billion. What if TikTok says, no, we believe we're worth double that, $250 billion. So then the government would be like, no, you're not. We're going to give you fair valuation. That's what I'm saying. And TikTok could be doing that on purpose, just to stick it to the U.S. government or just to prolong the process. There's many different ways this can go. I was actually surprised today at their statement, basically saying, no, we're not selling. So anonymous sources, if you go back here, this is my website, by the way, flashtech.news. I have a lot of websites I created. So if you go in the description box, I have techflow.news. I also have eSIMstudios.com. I also have a web app. So go to techstudios.app. Right here, you can install this on your phone. Application, yes. Everything is in the description box below. Getting back to ByteDance. So, anonymous sources have told the reliable news outlets that ByteDance will not sell TikTok. In light of the US ban, ByteDance will fight using all legal maneuvers possible. However, if all else fails, the company would rather pull TikTok. Here's the key. Here's the big one. If all else fails, they're going to fight this to the end. And if TikTok fails, the company would rather pull out of the U.S. market than sell it. Very interesting. So TikTok saying, we're going to fight this to the end. Look, from a company standpoint, you would hate to basically pull out of your biggest market, right? The United States is their biggest revenue earner, and I don't know if it's the most popular market in the world, but it said it's their biggest revenue is the United States. So they don't want to, but I think they're getting screwed so hard by the U.S. government that they're willing to put up a fight, and they're willing to fight back. And I'm actually proud. I'm actually never thought I would be defending a Chinese company, but it's not fair. You know, I know life is not fair. Yes, I know, but I'm just saying, what the U.S. government doing here is very, very sleazy, and I don't believe this is how business should be conducted. It's a dirty game. It's a dirty world, and the United States government is running it. And this is a perfect example. So why would the U.S. government want to sell it? They're pushing that it's for our safety. They're pushing it's for privacy. I believe the trending, no pun intended, the trending usability, the amount of people using it, this application is continually going up. Like, it's not stalling out. So I believe the U.S. government wants to force this sale of the last 20% owned by a Chinese company to a United States company to simply get in early. Because if the United States forces ByteDance to sell off their remaining 20%, it's going to be worth, assuming it follows the trends, assuming it continually is steadily going up, the stock, the people using it, the revenue that's coming in, it's showing no signs of slowing down. So I believe the U.S. government basically wants to sell now. So in 2 or 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, their investment could be worth double, right? It's simply an investment. And they're forcing the hand of ByteDance. That's what they're doing. I mean, it's clear as day. It's just simple. So anything other than that, I'm not necessarily saying you're getting lied to, but they're just not telling you everything. That's basically what it comes down to. Because I've heard this, I've heard that on the news, read articles and stuff, and they're just simply not giving you this information. So President Biden signed international aid bill that included a ban on... Damn, they included the ban of TikTok in the international aid bill. The same bill that went to Ukraine and Israel. Wow. The video sharing social network is owned by... Yeah, Chinese ByteDance. I know, I wrote this is my website, but just filler right there. See, the good thing about my news or my website, I don't have a bunch of filler crap. No, I got, all the information you need right in here. Biden has given ByteDance 9 months. 9 months to sell TikTok to a non-Chinese firm. Or they will face a full-on ban across the United States. Now, a new report from Reuters suggests ByteDance has no intentions to sell TikTok. Instead, the company will try and win in court. You're going to try to win the court battle, and if all fails, if the court system fails this Chinese company, which it will, they're not going to sell it. So that's basically what's going to happen. There's no way in hell this Chinese company is going to win their lawsuit because they filed a countersuit as well. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that today or yesterday, against the United States government, claiming BS. And it's just gonna, it's gonna stall out in court, and this 9 months will be up, and TikTok is not gonna sell it. So they're going to force a trade-off. They're going to force a ban. The United States will force a ban of TikTok in the United States. And that'll be it. Now, I think this will get around pretty quick, the workaround that I have for everybody. You can still use TikTok if it gets banned inside the United States. So how does the United States know if the device is using TikTok inside of the United States border, or any 50 United States? That includes obviously Hawaii and Alaska. But if you're in any one of those 50 states, how do they know if you're inside there? Well, two things. I know there's actually more than two things where you can track people, but these are the two main ways that a government or a application or company can actually figure out where you're located while you're using the app. One is by your IP address. Basically, you have a home address and or your apartment, your mailing address. Same thing. That's the same thing as an IP address. It's basically telling where your internet is provided, or where you're using your internet. Same thing. IP address, home address, lets you know where you're at. And I'm talking about, if you look up an IP address, it'll actually give you a geolocation, and you can find it on a map, right? If I pull up my IP address right here where I'm streaming, it'll locate here in South Texas. The other way is by GPS. Now, if you give the apps permissions in the background to run GPS, then you're giving them access to wherever you are. So those are two ways. So I actually have two workarounds. I have a workaround for the IP address location, and then I have a workaround for the GPS. I can show you how to spoof your GPS location. Meaning, and hey, look, this might be use to some of y'all. Not getting into any certain situations, but you can actually spoof your GPS. So you can say, "Oh yeah, I'm over at Jimmy's house," and while you're over at a strip club, and you can actually move your location over to Jimmy's house while you're having fun at the strip club. But we won't get into that. But I will get you into how to do it. Let's see here. First thing to do, let me pull up my YouTube video. Now, we're not going to sit here and review it. I have in the description. Let's see. Sorry, I apologize. I should have had this in the pre-show right here. Let's see. Where are we at? All right, check this out. What do you know? So there's my video down here. Damn, that was 4 months ago. Okay. 1 second. We'll get into it. Hey, hang on. Gotta blow my nose real quick. All right. So in this video, let's go down here, and I'll repost this in this video description. I'm not going to make y'all go to this video. I'll copy and paste the instructions on how to do everything in this video description that you're watching. So when this ends here in a little bit, I will copy and paste it. So if you're watching a replay or watching this in the future, simply it'll be down there of how to get around the ban, so you can still use TikTok perfectly fine, right? So you can actually use it like you're here in South Texas and work like normal, while your GPS and IP address have you in Mexico, right, or in Germany. Let's see here. So here is a link to a GPS emulate. Now, this works on Android phones. I'm sure. Well, I take that back. I don't know if you can spoof or fake a GPS location on an iPhone. I know it's actually pretty easy to do it on Android phone. Very easy, actually, just a couple clicks. iPhone, iOS, I have no idea. So, those of you other iPhone users, you're on your own. But everybody that has everybody that has a Android phone, I got you covered. So here's an emulator on one of my previous videos. What's going on, Ashton? I appreciate you joining us today. I'm gonna link Ashton's channel. Man, dude, last night I can't tell you how oh my god, I was laughing so hard last night, and I haven't laughed in a while. So I definitely needed that last night. This show was freaking awesome. So I'm gonna link his Ashton show in the channel description below, in the video description below, as well as Mark Nash. If you like sports, if you like boxing, if you like hip hop, which is right up my alley, y'all are gonna love his channel too. Very, very good, very entertaining, both of those two. So want to promote your channel because I watch them all the time. So very good stuff. Just like the sponsors that I'm working with in the background. I don't promote stuff that I don't use, or I don't promote stuff that I don't like, or I don't promote stuff that I don't believe is a good product. I'm not trying to promote shitty stuff, right? So whatever I use, whatever I think is good, whatever I watch, I'll promote, and whatever I don't, I won't. Going back to GPS emulation. So it's very easy. I'm going to link this. It's an application. Check this out. So here's an application. You simply install it on your phone, and it walks you through how to spoof, quote unquote, your GPS location, right? Very easy. Look. So that's one way. If TikTok gets banned, which it looks after the news today, it looks like it will. And that's the other thing too. If they negotiate a buyout, is the U.S. going to give them a fair deal? Is the U.S. going to give them fair value for ByteDance's 20% of TikTok? I doubt it. It's probably going to lowball them because they have the strong arm. The ball's in their court, meaning the U.S. Because they can say, no, you're either going to take this or we're going to ban you. And of course, ByteDance is going to come back and say, no, I don't want $22 billion. Because that, again, it was estimated value worth $110 billion. And ByteDance only owns 20%. So I mean, I'm just eyeballing it here. So 20% of 110 billions, well, like 22 billion, something like that. What if ByteDance says, no, I want 30? And the government, U.S. government, no, you can't do, you're not worth $30 billion. We'll do 22. Fine, we'll do 22. Fair market value. And ByteDance says, no, we want 29. Right? And the U.S. government, oh, no, we can't do that. Fine, 23 billion is our final offer. Now, don't get it twisted. The government will be in the negotiations. Now, the government's not going to buy that 20%. It will be some other company or a number of companies, or BlackRock, who owns the majority of TikTok, might even say, they might even offer to buy those remaining 20% share of the company. But make no mistake about it. The U.S. government will be involved in the negotiations if it gets to that point. TikTok said today where they're not even going to negotiate. If they lose this, they're going to fight tooth and nail to the end to try to stay in the United States. And they said today, if the ban goes through, we're not selling. We're just gonna leave. But that's what I'm getting into for people that are just joining us. I'm getting into workarounds. So if that ban does go through, and they officially get banned from the United States, you can still use it. I'm simply showing you how. Again, real quick. There's two ways that they can ban you, that they can know that you're using TikTok inside the United States. It's your IP address and its GPS location. And I'll link this in the video description below. There's an application, again, just for Android. I don't know if this works for iPhone. Apologize. I don't know if it works for iPhone. I don't use iPhone. Android, this works. I've tested this and I've used this many times. So here's one way. Now, should you use both of these? Should you mask your IP address and your GPS location at the same time? I mean, could. I think they can use both to track you, to figure out where you're located if you're using it inside the United States. The main way, I believe, is the IP address. But I'm showing you both ways just to make sure you'll be able to use it, no questions asked. And this GPS spoof deal has an easy toggle switch, meaning you can simply turn it on, turn it off, just like that. You don't have to go through hoops to turn it off. You don't have to go through this long process of turning it back on. Now, what do you do if you want to use TikTok while you're using GPS, right? You're driving somewhere. I think I'm gonna look into that. So I'm gonna do a follow-up video because I was just thinking about that. It does create, it is a hassle, but it still can be used in the United States. You will not be banned completely if you still want to use it. Let's see here. So that's one way, right? GPS. And the other way, IP address, right? So the easiest way to mask an IP address is simply a VPN, a virtual private network. There's now probably 1,000 of them on the App Store. Now, which one should you choose? Because all you do to simply mask your IP address is just go get a VPN, install a VPN app, and then whatever location you choose, don't choose inside the United States. Because a lot of them will have like a few locations in the US and some sporadically random places throughout the world. They'll have like an LA, Chicago, and New York, right? I've seen Miami too. Don't choose a United States location. Choose Germany or anywhere outside. Now, question: if you're using the GPS spoofer and the IP address and the VPN, does your location from the bogus GPS location, does it have to be the same as your VPN? Meaning, if you choose on your VPN, if you choose Germany as your location, do you have to set your spoofed GPS to Germany? That's a good question. I do not know the answer, but if I had to guess, I would say no. More than likely, they're just tracking you from one of the two ways that I'm telling you. I doubt they're going to track you through IP address and GPS. I doubt that. It's usually just one, and it's typically the IP address. If they used both to track you, I would be very shocked. But that's why I'm giving you both, so you're covered. If this, and you can test it out right now. You can download these. You can download the GPS spoofer. You can download the any VPN and give it a try. You can test it out right now. I made a video on this, 4 months ago? Works perfect. Let's see. So I do have instructions. Here's very simple instructions for the VPN. Look, just 3 lines. For IP addresses, download any VPN app and then just change your location. That easy. For GPS, I'll copy and paste those into this description. So that's all you do right there for the GPS spoofer. I use ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is typically the one that works best for me, but what works good for me, may not work best. That one is paid, so I think it's like $11 or $12 a month. There's tons of free ones. There's free ones. There's some that are $1 a month, $1.99 a month. You know who reached out? Who we're gonna do a deal with? Is Nord? Damn it! I don't want to get the name wrong. Hang on. A VPN company reached out to me the other day, and we're gonna, and I've used them in the past. So again, it goes back to I don't promote stuff that I haven't used. I used to use them before ExpressVPN, but now we're gonna make the switch. Let's see. Now I can't find it unless it's in a different email. Anyways. Got it. Surfshark. So, look, nothing's finalized, but we are working, potentially could have a deal with Surfshark. They want to sponsor and do some stuff with us, advertising on our channel. So give them a little free advertising, right? So check this out. And I think what are they? Let's see. I think these are pretty, I don't think this is free, but I think it's pretty inexpensive. Look, $3 a month. Boom. $2 a month. Can't beat that. And look, the paid versions are way better than the free VPNs. The free VPNs, a lot of the times you can find a good one, and I'm sure there's a few good ones online on the App Store. But typically, the paid ones, and now I'm looking at mine like, damn, I'm paying way too much for my VPN with ExpressVPN because I'm paying like $12 a month. Surfshark's got a paid plan for $2-3 a month, and that's it. So I'm gonna make the switch anyways with them. But some of the free VPN applications on these Play Stores are filled with ads. Some of them don't even work right. Some, when you connect to a VPN, slows down your internet. That sucks. Nobody wants that. So that's why even paying $1 to a month pays off, because a lot of these don't really have a internet speed slowdown. and just give you a little more premium features, right? And some will include like 3, 4, 5 users. The free ones, it's just one. So I'll leave that up to y'all. But these are ways that you can get around the ban and continue to use TikTok, even if it gets banned. What do you know? I've had a weird skill of finding workarounds. I don't know why, but I can find a workaround for almost anything. I haven't messed. What's going on, BamFM? I have not used a free VPN probably in 10 years. I made the switch to. Yeah, I figured that out pretty quick. I made the switch to paid service or paid VPNs soon after getting into VPNs and figuring out what they were. Of course, they're much more popular nowadays. But yeah, I used a handful of them and they just sucked. They just sucked. Oh, okay, so you're familiar with Surfshark? Yeah, I've used them. They were the company I used just before I used ExpressVPN. And now I'm looking at their plans like, why the hell did I even leave in the first place? They're good. Yes, they are. So, and I mentioned they reached out to us, and I think we're going to work something out on a sponsorship deal or advertising of some sort. But that'll be in the future. But I'm sure they'll like this free promotion. But look, there's a workaround for anything. And if you have any questions, or you can't figure out something, or hey, what I got highlighted here, the GPS spoofing, I can't get it to work, or anything, I can always be reached. You can reach me. My contact information is in the description box below, or you can simply leave a comment. I haven't checked them in this last week, just because I've been, got a lot of stuff going on and family stuff going on, but I'll get back to it and continue to check the comments. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. It is a pure and utter shakedown by the U.S. government, right? So, and it is what it is. What side? Look, do I care? Nah, not really. But some people do. A lot of people do. There's a lot of users. I don't use TikTok, but there are a lot of people out there that use it, and it will affect you in some way, shape, or form if you use this application, right? But it is what it is, and if you need a workaround, I got it. I believe everything will still work, right? Because it'll work as normal, like you're in the. I wouldn't be surprised, just to stick it to the U.S. government, if they get banned, TikTok in the United States. I wouldn't be surprised if they have some kind of page on their website like this where they put up. I wouldn't be surprised if they made an announcement or have a section of their website that says, we're still available in the U.S., or here's a workaround, or just blatantly put it out there that, hey, they banned us, but they can't stop us, and share the couple of little simple steps that I just did. I wouldn't be surprised, although, maybe I would be surprised, because that's kind of you don't really see that too often, but that's like an enormous troll job. Where is this a TikTok website, or is this a U.S. government website? It's interesting. It's at usds.tiktok.com. What the hell is this? Wow. So hold up. Shut up. Wow, so they put a whole website together to try and combat what the U.S. government has been saying about them. They must have just did this, because when I did my video 4 months ago on this topic, this video, this website that we're looking at was not available. So they must have just put this up in wake of all the news, all the bad rumors that everybody's spreading. Look, I'm not saying they're squeaky clean. Every company, they're not better or not worse than any other company and or application that's on your device. If you understand what I'm saying, they're not what I'm trying to say is that all the apps, all the companies you have on your phone, websites you visit, they're all tracking you. So that's what I'm saying. That's why it's clear to me that they're being singled out. And again, I'm not defending TikTok. I hate that freaking app. I'm just presenting to you what I see. But look, they're not pulling any more data. Well, I don't know for sure, but they're not pulling, I'll make a broad statement, they're not pulling any more data than Google is on you, than Apple is. Apple's pulling way more data than, I'll say way more data than you think, and potentially more than Google is. Facebook, I guarantee you Facebook has way more information on you than TikTok does. That includes Instagram. That includes WhatsApp. If you have a Facebook account, they got a file on you. Yes, you. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not some dangerous thing that's out to get you. Again, when you sign up, all you give them is your email. Now, I know. All you give them is a phone number. I know you don't want that out there. I get it. I don't want mine out there either. But some applications, you got to put your driver's license in. Some apps, you got to, there's a time or two where you got to put a social in over an internet service provider. So it's like them collecting a email and or a phone number to sign up for a account on TikTok. How bad is that? That's what I'm saying. There's other companies out there that are doing way worse, and you don't see the government coming after them. It's simply because they're Chinese owned, and again, only 20% of TikTok is Chinese owned. So that's what I'm saying. It's a clear shakedown. But it is what it is. I mean, do I care? Not really. But they're gonna do what they can to fight like hell, because I'm sure the U.S. market's their biggest market, highest revenue from the United States. So I'm sure TikTok will fight like hell to stay here. And as they said today, if they lose their legal battle with the U.S., they're not selling. So they will leave the United States. And that's why I'm here, to show you that there's a workaround. So you can still use it if you want to. So that's basically it on this one until we get further information. This website's weird, no? So TikTok put together this website to kind of tell you it's not bad. I mean, look at these headlines. I guess these are 2 articles. Huh. Interesting. Wow, that's crazy. What else we got? Is it me or my internet? My internet's never this slow. I have the fastest internet. I bet everybody's on here. What is Project Text is? What? Project Texas is an unprecedented initiative dedicated to making every American on TikTok feel safe. With confidence that the data is secure and the platform is free from outside influence. What I say earlier at the very beginning, influence might be the number one factor that may be quote unquote dangerous or a danger to us. Because, as I mentioned, they just have your phone number to sign up and or an email. It's not that bad considering all the other information other companies have on you. But influence, there's so many users of TikTok, they can, over time, possibly change your mind, change your opinions on certain topics through continual viewership of certain issues or certain angles of different topics, right? They can maybe persuade you over time, just showing you continual viewership of a thought or of a narrative, right? So that's potentially what I think is more dangerous. Is influence. This initiative addresses key issues of corporate governance, content recognition and moderation, data security, system access, blah, blah, blah. Is a comprehensive package of measures with layers of government independent oversight. Okay, so what they're basically saying is it's just a bunch of jargon. It's just a bunch of nothing, honestly. Okay, so what? It's interesting, this website, I had no idea it was here. It basically looks like they're just trying to calm everybody's nerves, like show you we're not that bad, like, But, yeah, they got some interesting data and stuff on here. As of June, so where do they store your data? Good question. So as of June 2022, 100% of all U.S. user traffic is routed to the Oracle Cloud infrastructure in the United States, and today all access to that environment is managed exclusively by TikTok Data Security, which means absolutely nothing. They can say whatever they want to say. They can write on a website whatever they want to write. Look, I've been building websites these last few weeks. You can put anything you want on there. Nobody's gonna cross-track you. Nobody. They can say whatever they want. We still don't know if it's true, right? Even though they use Oracle Cloud infrastructure, a Northern California home-based company, that doesn't mean a thing. And so what? That doesn't mean anything, honestly. That's just trying to, again, ease some nerves and make people feel more comfortable about TikTok. But honestly, that doesn't mean anything. You know, where's the proof? Anybody can make a statement. Oh, let's look at this. GPS. So there have been many inaccurate claims about our policies and practices that have gone unaddressed to the media. To be clear, TikTok does not, and again, these are statements. I guess I could. I would have to download TikTok and sign in. TikTok is claiming they do not log at keystrokes, meaning they do not log what buttons you push on your keyboard that pops up on your screen, which is important because what if they track your login information to your bank account? What if they track your they know what your password is by the keys you touch on your keyboard to get into your iCloud account, right? So they're saying they do not log keystrokes. Those are what keystrokes are. They do not collect precise GPS location in the US. They do not track your search and browsing behaviors across the internet, and they do not use face or voice prints to identify individuals. So that answers one of our questions today. So if they don't track your GPS location, then that means they track your IP address. So getting a VPN like Surfshark, like BamaFan and I have used, that's a way to get around it. So you can still use, and actually that's probably the better way to use it, because if you spoof your GPS, that dilemma I brought up saying, well, what if you want to use TikTok, so you spoof your GPS, but then you want to, go to a restaurant across town and you have no idea how to get there. Well, that would be an issue if you spoof your GPS to Germany and you're trying to get directions to across town. Might have an issue there, right? So it appears to me that the IP address is how they know you're inside the US, and simply using a VPN can change that, and no, it will not mess up your GPS. So if you're using a VPN to still use TikTok, let's say they get banned, and a year from now you're still using TikTok with a VPN, and then you want to go across town, right, to use your GPS, totally fine. If you're just using the VPN to get around the ban, you can still use GPS to get all the way across town. No issues there. Let's see. Actually, this is a cool little website. I mean, it answers. Oh, let's take that again. Who knows what the information they're putting out to us, to the world, could be true, could be false. We have no way of double checking. But it does answer. I wish I would have seen this before I started the stream, but it's all good. So we just went over the GPS tracking. I think we just looked at this, right? Let's see. See, here they're saying, does the Chinese government own a small percentage of ByteDance? And ByteDance is here saying no. Now, are they telling the truth? We don't know. Very easy, the government of China could very well own a small, or people in the government, meaning, I don't know, the president or however they structure their government, could own shares of that 20%. And don't get it twisted. I know they say this on their website, but the Chinese government is very involved, very, very, very involved with with every business in China, but specifically the big ones, the big boys. They are very much so involved with everything they do. Do not get that twisted. You're being told a lie if somebody else tells you otherwise. That's a fact. The government basically tells them what to do, telling them what to do, but they can if they want to. I'll just put it that way. They can do whatever they want to. When the Chinese government owns, influences, and controls, that's how communism works. So don't get it twisted. Is TikTok required to provide information to the Chinese government if asked? Simple answer is yes. Now, they're probably going to dance around. Let's see what their answer is. Project Texas is designed to make this question moot. Once TikTok USDS is fully operational, ByteDance and TikTok will not have access to U.S. user data, and a government structure is designed to prevent USDS employees from being pressured to grant access. Wow. I'm not going to go through all these. It is what it is. I don't... Some of this I might believe, a lot of it I don't. So everyone has to make this own decision for themselves. But I just wanted to kind of cut through the weeds today in some of the news that was not getting to you. Making sure that we have everybody's clear of what's going on here. And there is a workaround. So even if they get banned, you can still use it. So that'll do it for today. I'm going to get out of here. Running a little late today, so I do apologize about that. But we will get up on out of here. I do appreciate everybody for joining us. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening to the podcast. It's still trending in Southeast Asia. I want to thank everybody for showing me support throughout the week. I really appreciate it. I lost my mom earlier in the week, so I've been dealing with that. But it is nice to sit down and go over some tech topics, right? So that's what I love to do, and it's nice to get back to that. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. I hope you had a good week. And as always, I will see you tomorrow. Don't forget, I'm going to put this information in the description box right now. So I'm going to hit end, and I'm going to copy and paste so y'all can spoof your GPS whenever you want to and your IP address. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. I got to get out of here. Peace.